Good morning, depending on when you're watching this, afternoon, evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Arizona Armchair Sports. I am Brandon. Here's your weekly dose for all things that is Arizona sports. I want to appreciate everyone for tuning in to today's episode. If this is your first time on the channel, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss any of our future content. We got some things to discuss today. The Arizona Cardinals had their mini camp this week. Buda Baker did show up, but that was about it. He did not practice. He was out on the field, but he did not practice as it was mandatory. He had to show up. He didn't want to get fined. So it was basically, I'm here so I don't get fined. So I'm hoping that they get a deal done before the start of training camp, because I really don't want this to be looming over the team's head during training camp and preseason, hopefully not going into the regular season. This roster is not very good. They're just not. They are not a talented roster right now. So if Michael Bidwell wants people to show up to the games and watch this team, he needs to get this deal done. Buda Baker, in my opinion, is a top 5 safety in this league. I wouldn't say he's the best. Some do say he's the best. I think he's definitely a top 5 safety in the NFL. This man gives his blood, sweat, and tears for this team. If they don't have him on the field, there really is no reason to watch this team. With Kyler being out with his knee injury, who most likely will be put on the physical unable to perform list, so the PUP list, there really is no reason to watch this team this upcoming season. So I'm hoping that they do get something done. So Buda Baker was at minicamp, didn't really participate, but I'm hoping that they're working something out behind the scenes, and hopefully we get some news here in the next couple of weeks before training camp that a new deal has been done. There was some other news that came out during training camp. Isaiah Simmons is no longer with the linebackers. He is now practicing with the defensive backs. So I'm wondering if they're going to use him as a corner, as a safety, as a nickel back. There's a lot of things I think they could end up using him for. It's the same issue I had with the previous regime. You need to find just one spot to play this guy. They've tried him at middle linebacker. We've seen flashes where he looks really, really good. And sometimes you just scratch your head and you're like, what are we doing here? I want them to decide just where to play him. Are you going to play him at safety, which I personally think is his best position? But you've got 2 solid safeties there in Buda Baker and Jalen Thompson. So what are you going to do? Go with a 3 safety look? I just don't know what this team's going to do. So I hope that with Jonathan Gannon, he's able to figuring out the best position for him, whether that's at corner, nickelback, or safety. Not a lot of other news out of minicamp for the Cardinals. It was pretty average, pretty standard. Buda Baker showed up, didn't practice, but was out on the field for the couple of days of minicamp. So that was good to see that he was being a good team player. But basically, instead of a hold out, it was a hold in because he showed up like he was supposed to. So I'm hoping, I really do want them to get something solidified there. Moving on there. Again, not a lot to talk about the Arizona Cardinals there. Moving on. Phoenix Suns. A lot of news this past week on the Phoenix Suns, which I don't understand. They have been out of the playoffs for some time. But there's still plenty of news to talk about here with the Phoenix Suns. Congratulations to the Denver Nuggets on winning the NBA championship. Well deserved. They were probably the best team all season, best team in the playoffs. The Joker literally is one of the most dominant players right now in the NBA. Welcome, Mr. J the Sixth. Thank you very much for stopping by. I appreciate it. Congratulations on receiving your Bryce Young Carolina Panthers jersey. Hopefully, I hope you enjoy wearing it. It's always great to get a new jersey. I definitely know that feeling. But no, Phoenix Suns. So at the start of the week, we got the news that Fred VanVleet declined his player option, so he will be a free agent. And I was going to talk about that for a little bit, because that I think that could be a player the Suns go after, but not a lot can be done right now until we really find out what is this team doing with Chris Paul. They're going to waive him, re-sign him to the vet minimum. They're going to just waive him. They're going to trade him, waive and stretch him. There's a lot of options that they can do here. But the big news with the Phoenix Suns here, I'd say over the last 48-ish hours, is this rumor of Bradley Beal. Yes, that Bradley Beal, who's scheduled to make $200 million remaining on his contract over the next 4 seasons. This is absolutely ridiculous, this theory, this rumor. I know a lot of Phoenix Suns want it. I don't know how you make this work. It's just like getting another Kevin Durant. I'm not saying he's on that level, but I'm just saying another star player when I don't think that's what we need. We need role players. We need guys around Booker and Durant. Because what a 3-headed monster, yeah, that's nice. That might do you something in the regular season, get you 60 wins, but it's not going to matter during crunch time when things come push to shove. It doesn't make sense. So if they somehow do it, this is what we are looking at in terms of salary between the three. Shout out to Kellen Olson of Arizona Sports here for providing these numbers. So this upcoming season, the three of them would be worth $131 million. The next season, $151 million. Then $163 million in 2025 and 2026. That is a ridiculous amount of money for 3 players. That's absolutely ridiculous. Would I be mad if they made the move? Absolutely not. Never. Bradley Beal is a good player. I'm not saying he's not a good player. I just don't see the reason and why they need to make the move. It doesn't make sense to me. You don't need him. You have Booker and KD, who are two, trying not to sound like a homer here, but I would say 2 of the top 15 best players in the NBA right now. Why do you need to add another top 30 player? You don't. You need role players. You need guys on the wing that when Booker and Durant go mid-range and their double team can kick it out to the 3 in the corner or the wing to hit a wide open 3. That's what they need right now, not Bradley Beal. But we are talking about Bradley Beal. So I found online here from the PHNX Suns, Gerald Bouquet, I think is how it's said. He did an article on gopnx.com where he went over some potential trades that can make this work. This first one, very straight up. Chris Paul, Landry Shamet for Bradley Beal. Yes, please get rid of Landry Shamet at all possible. That man makes $10 million. Should not be making $10 million. That man is not good at all. So, Chris Paul, Landry Shamet for Bradley Beal. But then people's like, well, who's going to play the point guard? You don't need a point guard in today's NBA. It is a positionless NBA. Just put 5 guys on the court. 5 guys on the court, and I'm completely fine with it. So at this, you'd have Booker, Beal, Durant, DA, and some random guy for the 4. Just that 5th guy. I think that's all you would need. Moving on to proposed trade number 2. This one I like. Out of the 3, which we'll go over the 3rd one after this, I like this one the most. The Suns get Bradley Beal and Kyle Kuzma for CP3 and DeAndre Ayton. That CP3 money is ridiculous. $30 million for the next 2 years. That's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, so is the Bradley Beal, but at least Bradley Beal's only 30 years old, not 38, I think CP3 is. So I'd be fine with this one. Bradley Beal, Kyle Kuzma for CP3 and DeAndre Ayton. And then you bring up, you just go get a really cheap veteran big man that can rebound the ball and protect the rim. That's all I want. Because whoever it is not going to be, they're not calling plays for this big man. They don't need to. When you got Booker and KD, those are the guys you call plays for. You run a pick and roll every now and then. You get an alley-oop to him. So just find a guy that can get you 10, 12 rebounds a game, 2 blocks a game. I would be completely fine with that. Proposed trade number 3, somewhat similar, but instead of Kyle Kuzma, get that big man. Get that big man that can protect the rim with the blocks, get those defensive and offensive rebounds, in Daniel Gafford. So those are the 3 proposed trades. Like I said, this one is my particular favorite one that I would like them to make. Bradley Beal, Kyle Kuzma for Chris Paul and DeAndre Ayton. We'll just have to wait and see what happens with this Bradley Beal situation. Are they going to make the move or not? You had to ask me. If you ask me, do you want to make the move or not? I say no, because they don't need another top scorer. They need position. They need role players. They need depth. So find a way to get that CP3 money off your books. I'd rather them just cut him. I'd rather them just waive CP3. Now, if he wants to come back for the vet minimum, go ahead, do it. I'm completely fine with it. But not at 30. No, I don't want him on this team for $30 million a year. I just don't want him. So, moving on to the Arizona Diamondbacks. They had an interesting week. They had a 4-game series against the Phillies, and they're currently having game 3 against the Guardians later this afternoon. They lost 3 of 4 to Philly, and they lost 3 straight, and everyone on Arizona Diamondbacks Twitter was absolutely losing their mind. They're like, oh no, we lost 3 in a row. Do y'all realize that's happened 3 times already this year? It just wasn't in a series, and the teams won 2 in a row. So can we not act like the sky is falling when we go on a mini skid? It's fine. It's baseball. This is what happens. You go on streaks. Baseball is one of the most streaky sports you will ever see. You'll see players that go super streaky with their hits, their pitching, their fielding, both ways, hot and cold. So I think the Diamondbacks are fine. Dodgers are a mess right now. The LA Dodgers are an absolute mess right now. It's actually quite entertaining. They lost last night, June 17th, to the San Francisco Giants, 15-0. It's the worst loss ever at Dodger Stadium for them. They had a loss like this when they were the Brooklyn Dodgers, but that was a very, very long time ago. They struggled, and as long as the Dodgers continue to struggle, the Diamondbacks need to take advantage. So just don't go on a skid like they do. They're now up by 4 games. Hopefully it either stays at that or they make it 5 today. And as Mr. J the Six says, Ohtani, yes, Shohei Ohtani is carrying the Angels. He's either tied or he leads the American League in home runs. He did it yesterday. They still lost. They still lost 10-9. Doesn't matter. It is the most funny meme you'll ever see. Trout and Ohtani homer, but the Angels still lose. So this season, he has not been streaky. The last season and a half, he's not been super streaky, but prior to that, he was very streaky. He literally is one of the most dominant pitchers and dominant hitters we've ever seen. It is truly inspiring to watch. You love to see it. So I'm hoping that the Diamondbacks can just continue what they're doing. Said it last week, I'll say it again. Corbin Carroll, if you continue to do what you're doing, you will win NL Rookie of the Year and will be in the discussion for NL Most Valuable Player. It's not a thing you'll say with a rookie. Now, technically, he did play 30 games last year, but he wasn't that. He wasn't this guy. He struggled for a while, and I think those games were very important for him. He played the last 6 weeks, played about 30 games. So I'm hoping that he continues to do what he's doing. Like he makes plays. You're just like, that shouldn't be possible. He is so fast. Um, Later in his career, he was. The last couple of years, he was very streaky. Like he'd go on like a 6, 7 game streak where he looked like the old Ichiro. And then you'd see like, yep, age is definitely getting to him. You see it a lot more with older players where they'll go and they'll look like they got their old form back, but then they look like, yep, age is getting to you. Father Time always wins. I do want to appreciate everyone for tuning in to today's episode of Arizona Armchair Sports as we discussed all things Cardinals, Suns, and D-backs. Just a quick recap. Cardinals had minicamp this week. Buda Baker showed up, but that was about it. Did not practice, was on the field. I'm hoping they get a deal done before training camp. I really don't want them to trade him. I really, really, really don't want that to happen at all costs. Suns are rumored to be basically one of the two teams the Wizards might trade Bradley Beal to. I personally don't see the reason why. We don't need another top player. We need depth. And Arizona Diamondbacks had a slight skid, but they're now currently on a 2-game win streak. If this is your first time on the channel, I appreciate you for watching. Make sure to hit that like button. It does help the channel getting this video out. If you have not yet, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our future live streams, which will be on Sundays. It is earlier today due to Father's Day. Jay, you know where I really want him to go? Just to piss off you and Brodney, I want him to go to the Los Angeles Lakers. I just want it to happen because it will just make me feel all good inside. Oh, and Suge. I want Suge to be mad about it too. But no, we had a stream earlier today due to Father's Day. I am busy around the normal airing time of 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. So just want to make sure we get this stream out today. We have our MLB. What? You don't want that? You don't want CP3? You don't want CP3 on the Suns? I mean, on the Lakers? Because, yeah. What? He wants to play with his old buddy LeBron James. What is... Is it? Is it a little mean? I'm sorry. But I'm not sorry. But no, we have our live streams here every Sunday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern is when we normally have it. But today, due to Father's Day, I do want to give a shout out to all the amazing fathers out there that I know. You all are amazing. Continue to just be the great men that you are. Continue to strive and provide the best for those around you. We have our MLB The Show videos that we do. We just dropped one yesterday. We'll have another one here the next couple of days. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We will see y'all next time.